three most famous meteor showers in the Northern Hemisphere, which often appear in summer. It's visible every summer, which lasts over 1 month, with peak inactivity between August 9, the 12th and 13th. This year, the meteor shower, the observation period, is not subject to influence of the moon. meteor from the Earth, the meteor shower, centers around a radiant of Perseus. Because of the shower's radiant in the constellation of the Perseus, Perseus and Perseids are primarily visible in the northern hemisphere. Quadrants and Geminids, along with the Quadrants and Geminids, Perseid meteor shower, or dubbed as showers that can be witnessed around the world throughout the year and are named after the constellations across which they strike. Asteroids strike. Its record reveals a top strike. Streak across. Unfortunately, during the current phase of the Moon, fewer meteors will be visible this year. Viewers in the northern hemisphere, and as far south as 51 degrees south, can expect to see, at peak, around 15 to 20 meteors in the sky each hour, according to NASA. These bright meteors typically emanate from the Perseus constellation. Meteorites emanate fluctuations
友，大家好，我是总台央视记者鲁念，我正在北京天文馆。今天我将在这里陪
Now
同
I'm
您
in
一起邂逅
Beijing
天蝎座流星雨。
Observatory, and this live stream will give you some information on the meteor shower. So from the evening of today till the dawn of tomorrow, you will be so lucky to witness the meteor shower, the Perseid meteor showers, which is a dazzling celestial phenomena. And my colleagues will also join the live stream in Xizang, in Tibet, Henan, and other places across China. Now let's look up into the sky. If you have time, I think you should give yourself a break to enjoy the fascinating evening. So what will we behold in tonight, in this evening? So let's wait and see. And now I'm in the Beijing Astronomy Observatory. Now I'm lucky to be joined by the engineer Cohen from the observatory. Hi everyone, I am from the Beijing Observatory. So could you give us some information on how the meteor showers emanate from? So this stone has some relation to the meteor shower. So what has it to do with the meteor shower? Because this stone comes from the universe. It has 500 years history, and this is a falling stone from the universe, so it is the single one and the only one sample we've got from the universe, which is available for research. So this is the only one thing we've got in hand, and we are very fond of this stone for the purpose of research. And now let's take a walk inside the planetarium, and we will get to know more information about the meteor shower. So talking about the falling stones, it's divided into 3 categories. And the one we just now saw is made of iron. Another kind is made of stone itself. And the last type is a combination of iron and stone. So the iron stone, falling stone, is very rare. The one we saw just now is the only one piece we've got in hand, and it's very important for us to study the universe, especially the solar system. As we know that the solar system was formed many thousands or billions of years ago. So how did it come into shape? So what was the story behind? And what about the history of the bigger planets? And during so many years of history, actually the substance in the planets have changed. But as to the stone we just watched, it is quite stable. Nothing has changed in the substance. Well, indeed, this is a very interesting topic, and we hope the online viewers can join us in the live stream, posting up your comments. The meteor shower is very important phenomenon in terms of astronomy. Well, inside this building, we have a lot to discover and explore. For example, we have pulsars, which is very distant from our daily life. But the falling stones can be very near to our daily life. So what's the relationship between the meteor shower and the falling stone? So is falling stone a fallen meteor shower? Well, to some extent, the answer is yes. I said the falling stones have 3 categories, but how to detect and identify the real falling stone from the fake ones? We have a small test for you. There are 3 stones in front of us, but only one piece is the real falling stone. So make a wild guess. Well, I picked the middle one because I think the surface was touched by many people. You got the right answer. This one has the same substance with the one we just saw in the entrance because it contains a high volume of metal. A lot of audience touched the surface of the fallen stone. So the iron part has revealed itself. So the meteorites streak across the surface of the Earth at a very fast speed, normally at 30 to 50 kilometers per hour. So when the meteorites falls to the Earth, the surface can be scratched. And also you can see there are some holes in the surface of the falling stone. Well, for this one, this is a normal iron stone on Earth. Well, the holes in this stone is very dense. If it runs through the atmosphere, it will have the same surface as the real falling stone. So how about this one? Is this the treasure or the number 1 treasure of this building? Well, I cannot say it's the number 1 star, but it is a very typical meteorite. We just saw 2 fallen stones whose surface are quite flat. But this one is different. The shape resembles that of a human brain. It was discovered in Australia, and it weighs 500 kilograms. So it has a bizarre shape, which resembles the shape of a human brain or the coral reef. So it's a gift from the universe. Indeed. Yeah, this stone is actually part of a larger structure. And sometimes we can witness the meteorite shower. So can we tell the meteorite from an ordinary iron stone with naked eye? Well, the ordinary stones are much heavier than the meteorite. And the falling stone are usually darker than the common stones. And it can be easily eroded. And the meteorites have a magnetic power. And the online viewers cannot wait to see the meteor shower tonight. Well, actually, the Perseid meteor shower lasts as long as 1 month. I already sent you a picture from the 31st of July. So it already appeared, but its peak inactivity arrives at this evening. So it means the peak arrives this evening. So the meteor shower is quite different from other astronomical phenomenon. It is very difficult to make accurate estimation about the meteor shower regarding its source, its reason for taking shape. Well, this is a video clip about a meteor shower, and this is the meteorite. It's part of the asteroids in the solar system. It's like the Earth, one of the 8 planets that orbits around the Sun. So each asteroid has their own set orbit. But it can happen that one asteroid takes a similar orbit as the Earth, so it might run into the Earth and fall into the Earth. So there are some big fallen stones and some smaller size. So we are very happy about collecting these falling stones because they have very high value of research. And we have a question from the online viewers. Is there anything good about the asteroids, about the meteorites? Of course, they have their value lies in the research. Another question from the online viewer that if we have a large iron or magnet on the Earth, can we collect some falling stones from the universe? Well, I don't think so because this is an artificial behavior, but the falling stones are natural. So if the falling stones fall from an altitude of several hundred meters to 1,000 meters, then they can pose a threat to the universe, to the Earth, and also cause climate change on the Earth. For example, the falling stones happen every year. And these are some samples of the meteorites. There are even the meteorites from the moon. I can't know how it comes from, but I'm sure it is from the moon. And some other pieces are from the Mars. So does the falling stone have any radiant? Our online viewers are so interested about the meteorites. Well, they don't have any radiant because they are not chemical. these meteorites had stayed in universe for billions of years. They have stayed so long in the universe, so they cannot send out any radiance to the Earth. I noticed there is a poster wall. There is the atmosphere surrounding the surface of the Earth, which lasts several hundred kilometers. And above that, we have the space stations. So with an altitude of 600 kilometers, the atmosphere started to get denser and denser. So if a meteorite falls into the Earth, then it runs faster and faster. It appears like a fireball. So a fire meteor shower is different from the meteor shower, right? Because the fire meteor shower appears very often, too. Yes, the fire meteor shower is very dazzling. It lights up the sky. We've used a lot of cameras to shoot the falling process of the meteorites, and also to capture the shadows of these falling objects. And the fireballs are also part of the meteor showers. They can be classified into different ranks in terms of the levels of lights. We can also estimate the light level of the meteor shower. So if -3 level, so fireball is called a fireball unless its lighting level reaches -3. So if the lighting level reaches -3, then it's called fire meteor shower. Sometimes we don't care about the star magnitude. What we care about is the amount of the meteors. So if per hour the rate of meteors reaches 100, then it's a very ideal number. So excluding the factors on weather, on the position, it is an ideal number. Well, it has nothing to do with the position or weather. But sometimes the conditions are so harsh that it cannot be reached. So from a certain point, you can see the Perseid meteor shower emanating from a certain point. For example, the sky right above your head. So taking into account the meteor, the magnitude, the star magnitude, the real meteor shower will take place at a certain level or a certain magnitude. Sometimes, if you will be so lucky to witness 30 or 50 meteor riots at a single time. And you said the peak will not arrive until 3 or 5 o'clock this midnight. Well, the meteor riots come from the comets. They are a group of asteroids that orbit around the sun. And they can take very strange orbits. So an orbit can be completed within several years. So the comets are very romantic, right? Yes, they are romantic. They are free. So they are the symbol of romance and freedom. There can be all kinds of comets. But if they are so close to the Earth, they can cross each other. They can streak across each other. So if they are far from the sun, they will stay stable. But if they are so close to the sun, they will receive the radiance of the sun. So, the star grains will fall into the universe. So when the meteors arrive into each other, the grains will be attracted to the Earth, right? Yes, when they streak across each other, they will run into each other. So with our naked eye, they will enter the atmosphere at a very fast speed. So they will shine, they will burn, and they will send out fire. Well, the grains are really small, and they will fall into their orbit. How small is it? You will not believe. It is as small as a rice grain or a corn grain. A small grain, the size of a soybean, is already enough to form a meteor. So when we observe the meteor shower, we do not have to worry because they are really far away. And if they really fall into the Earth, they will become dust. Today we talk about the Perseid meteor shower. So where is it? Can you give us more information? Wow, this is really a giant map of the universe. This is, well, at a certain location and a given time, we can only observe part of the meteor showers. Where Perseid is a hero in the Greek theology. Well, actually, these constellations have no relation to each other. Before these meteorites touch the Earth, they orbit in parallel. And the substance they send out and they burn off also follow the orbit of the sun, of the comets. So with a naked eye and watching from the Earth, these meteorites also streak in parallel. It's like you standing in the street. You will see the people flow and the traffic flow in parallel. Because they run from distant, so it seems they are in parallel. Well, there are three most famous meteor showers in the northern hemisphere, which is the Perseid, the Quadrants, and also the Geminids. Well, the Geminids belong to the winter. And there is another, the Quadrant meteor shower. Well, the quadrant is not a constellation. Quadrant used to be a constellation, but now it is no longer is. The International Constellation Association renamed these constellations, so they reorganized the constellations, and the quadrant was taken off as a constellation. So it is also in the northern hemisphere. So Perseid is born for summertime, and the Geminids is for June, but Quadrants is for winter. You can watch from the evening till midnight, but if it's in November, you will be cold to death. But in summertime, it is an enjoyable experience. Even if you go and do not happen to see the Perseid meteor shower, it is still a leisure. I witnessed there are some other meteorites. For example, the Vega. Well, these are the most representative constellations in summertime. They form a triangle upside down. And you will also see the Milky Way in the universe. And also across the Milky Way, you also see the Scorpio. We know there are 12 constellations. Now there is a question from the online viewer. Can we see the meteor shower in Guangdong, Shandong, and other places in China? As long as there is sunny weather, you can watch the shower. But I'm not so optimistic because in Beijing and other places, it's quite rainy. If you go west, go deep into the middle and the west part of China, you will have a more favorable condition for observation. For example, the conditions are most favorable for observation till the 6 o'clock of the 13th of August. So if the dawn has not arrived until 6 a.m., you need to wait. But the estimation is not so accurate. The meteor shower estimation is not so accurate. You know, it comes from the comets, which streak across the Earth. So how large is the meteor shower and how dense the meteor shower is, we cannot tell, and we cannot estimate. If it is small, then it arrives very swiftly and it comes fast and goes fast. So, as an observer, we do not know what will happen next because the meteor shower is so difficult to estimate in an accurate manner. There is no accurate answer for that. So we will have a live stream in the Ali Observatory of the Tibet. It is said to be the highest altitude observatory with an altitude of over 5,000 meters in the northern hemisphere. Yes, the lowest altitude is 5,100 meters. So it is the observatory with the highest altitude. So is that a even better place for observe the meteor shower? Yes, sure, because the atmosphere is more transparent. And there is no shield in the atmosphere, so the conditions are the most favorable for watching the meteor shower. The only thing we are concerned about is the health conditions of the observers. You need to have strong stamina in order to stay there for a long time. So I like to give a big thumb up for those observers in the Ali Observatory. So when you visited the Ali Observatory, was your experience? Well, I did not have time to watch the meteor shower because I was busy involved. I was busy on the setting up of the equipment. Well, during that period, the meteor shower arrives almost every day, and it can happen almost every day across the year. And sometimes it's accidental. And on a normal day, you can watch 3 or 5 meteorites streaking across the sky. Well, what I look forward to is a bigger number of the meteorites. But that is something to be dreamed about, and that does not usually happen. And an online viewer said the Leo meteor shower is also an interesting shower to watch. Yes, sure, but the Leo meteor shower does not happen very frequently. There was a big one in 2001. Let's detect where is the Leo. So which season does the Leo belong to? Well, I think Leo is somewhere around spring. Well, the Leo is a representative constellation of spring. The Leo meteor shower is also famous. It's special because it's not regular, unlike the Geminids. So the Leo meteor shower takes place regularly. So it also comes from the comet Swift-Tuttle, with a period of over 100 years. The Leo comes from the comet Tempur-Tuttle, with a cycle of 33 years. So the comets burn off, and then we have the meteors surrounding the comets. So when the comet approaches the sun and runs into the earth, then we will have a big number of the meteorites. So the Leo meteor shower was very big in 2001 because the rate of the meteors reaches 1,000 or more per hour. I watched the meteor shower in a Great Wall. That was winter. For other meteor showers like Geminids, you have to wait a couple of hours before it arrives. But you don't need to wait for the Leo. So the best way to watch the meteor shower is to lie on the ground and look up into the sky. That's true, but you might risk falling asleep. You'd better get yourself a chair so that you can lie on it and take a coffee. It may be also a good idea to have a mirror, to take a mirror aside. Yes, I have a friend who is very funny, who put a mirror on the ground and so that he can watch the meteor shower in the mirror. But I think it's a weird idea. Well, the good thing about the Leo meteoroid shower is that you don't wait. You just watch. So, how long do we have to wait until the next Leo arrives? Well, the comet for the Leo arrived in 1998 or 1997. So with a third cycle of 33 years, I think we have to wait another 10 years. But it's just an estimation. It's not that accurate. Well, the beginning of human knowledge about the meteor shower starts from the Leo. There was a big one about the Leo in America, well, the per hour rate of meteors reached 100,000 in the United States. That was huge. But people can make mistakes because they think the meteor shower is not astronomical. They thought they happened just naturally on Earth. And the first meteor shower that people began to relate to meteor shower is the Perseid. I remember there were records in books about the meteor shower in Han Dynasty, in the Han Guangwu Emperor in ancient China. There were numerous records about these. But the true knowledge about meteor shower did not grow until later. And now we have gained more knowledge about the meteor shower. And we are more and more open to the meteor shower. I just pointed to the two meteors, which refer to a metaphor for a couple living separately in ancient China. So we made a wild guess. So this cowboy and the lady were connected by a bridge. And each year, August is the month for the Valentine's Day in China. So the bridge of magpies connects the couple. But that is my wild guess. But I think the universe, the stars, the meteor showers give us so many rooms for imagination. So I'd like to ask the online viewers to share your own stories of watching the meteor showers. For me, I don't share such a story because it is more favorable to watch these outside China. The weather forecasts are not so accurate. It's like the forecast of a meteor shower. If the weather forecast there is a rain, it may not be rain everywhere. So the weather forecast needs to be more accurate. I watched the Geminids meteor shower in a mountainous area in Beijing. In December, I saw 800 meteors. Well, I don't have so many real experience. I saw them mostly in pictures. But I bet if you see those meteor showers for your own eyes, you will be so thrilled. Yes, so talking about a meteor shower, we talk about a romance and we make a wish against the shooting stars. So what I know about the meteor shower is more about the 12 constellations. So does that have anything to do with the Chinese constellations? Well, in the Chinese way, the ecliptic Chinese constellations, that is part of the Western constellations. You know, the Earth orbits around the sun, but when you stand on the Earth, you do not feel that the Earth is orbiting around. So divided by the ecliptic course, the sky is divided into 12 sections or 12 constellations. I bet many know the 12 constellations. But they have got different names than you usually may know. So let's detect the names of the constellations. As you walk, you will see that the constellations, images, and the names appear on the screen. So we have the Aries, the Capricornus. We have the Sagittarius. Well, we have also the 13th constellation is the Ophiuchus. So I mentioned that the constellations were redivided and recategorized. So now the most popular constellations are the ecliptic constellations. So the stories and names have been set. Unfortunately, the Ophiuchus was left behind, so it does not fall into the 12 categories. It is called the 13th category. So it is quite very interesting for one to learn some knowledge about the astronomy by learning information about the constellations first. And we also have astrology, which is a more complicated discipline than astronomy. So if you have the genuine interest about the astronomy, you will go deeper into it. So your constellation refers to the date you were born when the sun streaks around. So many constellations were connected. There are 2 points that were worth mentioning. One constellation is worth mentioning is Scorpio. The Scorpio and Leo exactly resemble the animals they represent. So we have Virgo, the Scorpio, the Ophiuchus. The Ophiuchus lies somewhere in between. Well, we have not only 12 constellations, we also have 12 spaces with equal length. So Capricornus has a goat head, while and with a fish tail. So it's a combination of two animals. So these stories are from the Western world. You know, we have 12 ecliptic courses. We also have 28 spaces. And they also resemble, they respond to the Chinese history. So let's check what are the 28 spaces. If you watch the TV series A Journey to the West, you will have some knowledge about the 28 spaces. Well, the red buttons with Chinese characteristics are called the 28 spaces. So there are 7 spaces in the eastern end. So the 28 spaces are divided into 4 groups. The east, west, north, south. Wow, so many stories behind. Personally, I prefer the Western, the names that relates to the eastern end. So one may develop interest about astronomy by developing interest about the meteor shower. So we have talked about so many constellations and also the 28 spaces. So anything in common. And you can also see the eclipses, which is in yellow. Well, on this whole map of the universe, there are altogether 88 constellations. Let's go through some of the online questions. One question is, how can we get such a map? Well, we can try our luck in one of our souvenir shops. And we have some moving maps. And other questions are about where can we watch the meteor showers? What are the cities we can watch? Well, I don't think cities are a good place for watching the meteor shower. You need to go to places outside the city or far from the city. You can watch it this evening or at the dawn of tomorrow. So from now until 3 a.m. tomorrow, starting from this moment until the dawn of tomorrow, you will get to see the Perseid meteor shower. So which direction should we look into? Well, any direction will do. You don't need to search for a particular direction in order to see to watch the Perseid meteor shower. Well, the radiant position of the meteor shower for today comes from the Perseid, from the Perseus, but it can be watched from any direction. If you lie on the ground, you can watch it from any angle. Well, the rate of the meteors can vary. Some are radiant, but some are rarely to be seen by naked eyes. So if you watch in strong street lights, it will not be so friendly for watching. Let's say if now you are at a very good point for watching the meteor shower. Any advice or tips for shooting the meteor shower with your camera? Well, first question about watching the meteor shower. You don't need any equipment, or you can bring with you. What you need is a good naked eye. You don't need any telescope. If you have one, bring it. But your own eyes will just do. If you have a good telescope, it will be better. With the help of a telescope, you can have a better view. If you don't think watching is enough for you, you can bring a digital camera, and take some pictures. Well, are we able to make some big shots? I think we can do it. Take a nice camera and have some basic knowledge about how to use the camera. I think you will make some nice shots. You need a long time exposure to lights and also depend on the weather. So in this process, you should not hold the camera tight to your hands. You need to put it on the holder. You need a tripod to hold your camera. So shall we take a walk around? And later we can come back to the equipment. Well, since ancient times, we have developed our knowledge about the meteor shower. But years ago, we don't know so much about the meteor shower. We even thought the comet means bad luck. And sometimes the falling comet symbolizes a death or a sacrifice of human life. But now we have gained much more knowledge about the comets and the meteor shower. Yes, this is a wall about the history of the telescopes. Well, throughout the history of a human life, we have developed these equipments. And with the telescope, the horizon of humans have been broadened to a great extent. So from the Newton telescope to the other types, to the modern types, we have seen a long history of the evolvement of the telescopes. And now the telescope has a wider aperture. And in China, we have developed the 500-meter spherical radio telescope. And we have an aperture of 10 meters, and we have even larger size. So these all belong to the optical telescope. This is the radio telescope with a 500-meter aperture. This is called FAST, the largest radio telescope in China. And it's for receiving the wave radiant. It can also send out the signals to the pulsars and other asteroids and planets. So the FAST helps us discover the mystery of the universe. And it helps us collect more knowledge about the universe. And even the terrestrials and aliens. And thank you for giving us so much knowledge about the telescopes. And one question from the online viewer is that we have now so many telescopes. Now we have 3 Chinese astronauts in the universe, in the space stations. So can they also watch the meteor shower? And now the 3 Chinese astronauts are working in the international space stations. So can they watch the meteor shower? You know, the meteor shower will not shine or burn until they reach the atmosphere. So I don't think the astronauts will see the meteor shower easily. But if they look hard enough into the atmosphere, I think they can try. And they can see how the meteor shower reaches into the Earth, into the atmosphere. So in theory, they can watch it, but not in the same way as we stand on Earth. I think the online viewers must be interested in the telescopes and in especially selecting what kind of telescopes for their kids. We have some primary level and also the senior level. Well, the primary level is enough for watching the meteor shower. Well, it has 2 glasses It is more effective than the naked eye. The binoculars are quite useful, but they are not the telescopes in real terms. We also have the radio telescopes and other higher level telescopes. For example, the refraction telescopes. So the telescopes are quite useful, but we kindly suggest the online viewers to watch the meteor shower with your own naked eyes. Well, the peak inactivity will arrive from now until 3 a.m. to 6 p.m. tomorrow morning. Well, this equipment, it's a digital camera. This will suffice for shooting the meteor shower. The lens are the most important. You need a wide-angle lens. You need a tripod to hold up the camera. It is manually controllable. If you want to shoot the stars, you need to switch to the manual mode. Then you will be able to select the scene and select the focal length, because you need to adjust the focal length to a very sharp point and to a fine mode. The light sensitivity is also important. Why not take a picture of the sky? You have seen the darkness, but with your own eyes. But with this camera, it is more visible. Now let me show you some of the pictures I have taken. Just days ago, I visited a desert, and this is a meteorite I have captured days ago. This one looks like a fire meteorite. Well, you need a very high light sensitivity in order to capture the meteorite. Is there a time delay to take the picture? Well, I don't think so, but you need 15 to 20 seconds in order to make a good one. So you set all the parameters, and you can manually control the camera. And it can generate a few snapshots one by one. And you also need a strong power supply because it consumes lots of power. You also need a large memory card. So rule number 1, you need to pick a good scene, because you cannot estimate where the meteor will arrive. So let's make a brief summary. First, we need to have a good camera and also a good memory card and a strong power battery. And for other equipment, what else do we need to bring with us? Well, in summertime, you need to bring something to help you kill the mosquitoes. Because you usually watch the meteor shower in later part of the night. So you'd better bring a quilt to keep yourself warm. I remember one year I watched the meteor shower in the Badachu mountain of Beijing in June. That was summertime, but I was freezing. I was almost freeze to death. So you'd better bring a quilt. You also need hot water. And also visit the place at least once before you decide to set foot on it. So even if you do not visit the mountainous area tonight, you can still watch the meteor shower, which lasts until the peak will arrive at 3 a.m. or 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Well, the rate of meteors will reach 160 to 100 or more per hour. So stay tuned and get prepared for the meteor shower. Well, from our conversation, I also realized that this is conducive. This is attributable to the development of science and technology. And we have been closely following the industry and to unveil the science behind the meteor shower. So you have been such a big fan of astronomy. How come you are such an enthusiast? Well, it's just an inner desire or interest. And because I am doing the job in this field, and I'm working on the spreading science knowledge about the field. So there is naturally an interest about the field. So once again, we have some questions. First, how did the meteor shower come into shape? Well, it comes from the comet, and the meteor shower will not hit the Earth, so you will not worry about being hit by the shower. Another question is which is the best place for watching the shower? Well, you need to find an open space far from the city center and far from street light. So get yourself a safe place and go to the west and go north this time for watching the meteor shower. And also, from the perspective of the weather forecast, if you go north and go west, you will have a higher chance of watching the most number of the meteors. So the live stream will be on until the alley of Tibet and other observatories in Henan, Guizhou, and other places in China. So stay tuned. And I will turn it over to the online viewers for you to share this beautiful night. If you happen to watch the meteor shower, please don't hesitate to make a wish.